Are you dealing with low back pain? Do you realize that if you're dealing with low back pain, especially when you sit for long periods of time, or you notice that as you try to take a longer step, it affects your low back? Chances are what you're dealing with are your hamstrings, and there's 3 of those. So we're going to talk today about how to stretch out those hamstrings, and more importantly, how does the hamstring affect your low back? Why do most traditional treatments fail? And then finally, how to solve this problem. So stay tuned. Hey everyone, I want a brief reminder here. My book, as I've said to you before, is on sale on Amazon. And to really understand the mindsets you need to be able to do the stretch and release technique, this book is like a manual. It's going to help you get a better understanding of what I'm talking about, why the brain is so important in stretching. If you leave the brain out, the stretching, even in the stretch and release technique, will work minimally at best. I want you to stop having pain and solve this problem. And don't forget, be sure to subscribe down below, ring the bell, share your comments, your thoughts. I'd love to know what you think about the book. And oh yeah, when you finish reading the book, go on Amazon and leave me a review. My goal is to get to 100 reviews. I just think that this book is going to help a lot of people because I've seen it with hundreds of people that I've worked on here in my office, and I know it can help you as well. So get this book, leave your comments, see you on the other side. Welcome back to the Muscle Repair Shop. So today I want to get into low back pain, but instead of talking about the front of the thighs, I want to talk about how it can affect the back of the thighs to the low back. So here's a couple things to figure out on your own if it's coming from your hamstrings or not. Do you notice that if you sit for long periods of time, that your back pain starts to increase as you sit and you have this urge you need to stand up? Or when you do stand up and you start to take a step, do you notice there's a pull at the base of your hip on the backside that is helping lead to that low back pain that you have? Now, many times someone with the stiff hamstrings in the backside, you'll see them walk with a little more of a hunch back. They may have some issues in mid-back as well. And the reason for that is that the quads on the front side or the front of their thighs is having to overwork to try to compensate so that you can move forward because the hamstrings on the back side of the thigh isn't wanting to release. Now there's 3 hamstrings there, so those three muscles actually work with vertical movement, lateral movement of the leg, and also rotational movement. I always thought as an athlete that was only one muscle back there, and I always was confused when people would call it hamstrings instead of just hamstring. The reality is there's 3 major muscles there that is actually affecting all 3 of those movements. So today we want to get in and talk about why those typical treatments you see fail, and then we're going to discuss how to get that to stop and show you how to do that towards the end of this video. Now let's talk about why most traditional treatments fail. Now the reason for that is, number 1, they're treating the low back. When you go to a healthcare practitioner and you say my low back is hurting, they automatically think because of their training that the cause of pain is in the low back. Over time, if you let it persist, what may happen is you may wind up with bulging disc, herniated disc, or pinched nerves. That can create a problem that's going to probably need surgery or some more extensive treatment to get to that point. Why not stop it before it gets to that point? When you go in and you have low back pain and they shoot an MRI, they shoot an x-ray, and they don't really see a whole lot there, to be fair, they don't have anything in their toolbox to help you with that because, just like with my training in school, no one really talked about how the muscles on one part of my body affects the pain in the other. That creates a problem. Now they can put you on painkillers, they can give you injections, they can send you to PT, and that works short term, but that's not going to make it stop, and over a period of time actually would wind up making it worse for you. So let's not do that if possible. I mean, if you want to take Tylenol temporarily to help you with pain and you're okay with that, that's fine. But really and truly, if you get into the stretch and release technique, you'll learn how to really resolve those issues. So let's move on and let's talk about how to actually resolve the issues. So when I work with my clients and they have low back pain and it's because of the hamstrings, it's also going to include the calf muscles with that. So I always say to them, do the calf stretch first And then you can go to the hamstrings. And the reason for that is the calf muscles are attaching above the knee, the hamstrings attach below the knee, so they cross over each other and therefore affect each other. So if the calves are tight, your hamstrings can't loosen up because there's not enough movement in the ankle to really make sure you keep that loose. So what we want to do is work both areas here. So let's start first with the calf stretch, just as a reminder here, and we'll go from there. All right, so I wanted to back up here a little bit so you could see what I was doing here. So I use an 8-foot yoga strap. You could use an 8-foot rope to do this as well if this is your first time watching me here. The reason I don't use anything that's elastic is that it's for strength training. If I put an elastic band around my foot and I grab it with my hands, the only thing that's stretching is the band itself, and it's creating resistance for my biceps. So if I'm trying to do a bicep curl, it's an amazing bicep curl exercise, but it's never going to stretch out your calves, okay? And most of the time when people do a calf stretch, they think they've done it by leaning against a wall, or they may stand on a slant board, or they may drop their heel off of a step. What you stretch there is the Achilles tendon, not the 4 calf muscles that are there. So remember, there's 3 hamstrings and there's also 4 calf muscles, and the calves do the same thing as the hamstrings. It's work controlling the foot laterally, vertically in movement, and also rotationally. So heads up here, golfers, if you've got low back pain, chances are your calves and hamstrings are tight, and that's where your back pain is coming from, not your back. And I'm going to do a whole video on that at some point so that you can better understand why that's important for golfers and even tennis and baseball players. So if you'd like to hear more about that, please drop me a comment in the comment section on this video, and I'll be sure to put that video together. So anyway, so let's get started here with the calf stretch. Now typically when I do my calf stretch, I sit on the wall with my back and hips against the wall. And I sit on the floor rather, not on the wall, but I sit on the floor with my back and hips against the wall, and I have one leg extended out in front of me just like that. I take the strap, put it around the ball of my foot here like this. Now I'm not going to use the muscles in my shins here to pull my toe back this way. I've seen people do that. It does nothing for stretching, trust me. If you try to do this without the strap and you think, well, I can just do that without the strap, you're going to wind up with shin splints, or you're going to wind up with pain underneath the front of your knee here because the shin muscles become tight. So don't do that. Let the leg totally relax here. Take your strap, and all you're going to do is you're going to inhale first and then gently pull the foot back. Again, I'm not trying to pull hard. I'm not trying to force this thing. I don't need to wrap this. I've seen people where they just wrap their hands here and they're trying to pull it. They're trying to pull a truck. You know what I'm saying? The thing is here is all we want to do is just gently take it here, grab it there, and then gently pull the foot back as you're breathing out. Now, once you first begin to feel any tension, stop. Don't try to overdo this, because again, we're not building biceps here. We're trying to stretch our calves. And then so you breathe out, hold it for the 5 seconds so the brain can see you didn't die here. Nothing tore, okay? And then you release that, and then you pull it back again as you breathe out. Hold for the 5 seconds, and then you release it again. Once you've done 10, you then rotate the whole leg so the foot rotates outward. Repeat the stretch, but this time you're going to feel it on the inside of the calf. Do the same thing. And then you're going to rotate your foot over, your whole leg over to the inward position so you can get the outside calf muscle as well. And a lot of you will find that the outside calf muscle is tightest of the 3 because many of our shoes come with arch supports, and it forces us to walk more to the outside of our foot. Now, once you're done with that, now we can move on to the hamstring stretch. So when doing a hamstring stretch, you can do it on your bed, you can do it on the floor. I always lay on my back, and as I lay on my back here, you'll notice that, and where most people will be here and they pull their leg up this way and they try to grab their knee. So what happens again, you're doing a bicep curl. Because as my leg comes up this way, I'm lifting the weight of this leg over here. I don't want to do that. I want to take this leg out. So I set this leg up here, just like this, so this whole leg is taken out of the mix. Now I can go back to my strap, put the strap around the arch of my foot here. Again, I'm not going to use my leg muscle. I'm going to use my hands and gently walk right up that strap as I come up here. And as I start to feel tension, I stop, breathe out, hold for the 5 seconds, and then I walk it right back down. I don't want to use my leg muscles to pick up this way because I'll be tightening this muscle here. And then once I'm up here, if I just let it go this way, again, I'm tightening the muscle here. So walk up that strap as you come up, breathing out, hold it for the 5 seconds, and release it, okay? So now, if I want to do the inside hamstring, put the strap around the inside of the ankle, turn the foot inward, walk right up that strap, again, breathing out, hold for the 5 seconds, and then walk it right back down again as you come down, and you'll do that 10 times. Finally, you'll take the strap around the outside of the ankle, turn the foot outward. Now when the leg comes up, I want this knee to come towards my right shoulder. I'm going to come across my body here so that I can feel the stretch on the outside hamstring, and then walk that right back down and repeat that 10 times. This will open up all 4 of your calf muscles and all 3 of your hamstrings. And what you'll find is you'll quickly start to see relief coming in to your low back. And that's going to help you walk better and move better. And you'll be surprised how it's going to help your knees as well. So I hope that helped you. Again, make sure you subscribe down below, ring the bell, and don't forget to leave comments. Share your thoughts. Talk to you later. See ya. I hope you enjoyed this last video. Be sure to click on the video here to my left and enjoy.